My name is Luke from The Gospel House, and welcome to a special video of Valentine's. I am super excited. Well, to be honest, I'm not really that excited. I don't usually do anything for Valentine's. I mean, that's usually all boys, right? Probably give my mom or my grandma like a card or something, you know, something very, very simple. Now, you're probably wondering, how did Valentine's came to be? But I'm also gonna apply to you guys some Bible verses. How can we apply this to our life that we can take out there to spread love, not just on Valentine's, but also throughout the years and throughout your life of how you can love people and love God. Basically, it says in Google that this was a holiday pertaining to the Romans festival, and this was going to be in the mid of February, which is the 14th, which is what we think about when we think about Valentine's, maybe. And it was going to be in the upcoming spring, which is where February is. Now, the Christians and the Romans, or Roman Catholics, wanted to have a tradition to celebrate love. Saint named Valentine, or Valtius, or however you say that. But there were also, I'm pretty sure it's either the same person or two others. I'm not too sure where I got this from. It wasn't very clear of how this could go about. Then these people, or this group of people, were actually martyred, which martyred means that you would not deny your beliefs for Christ, so you were killed. You were killed because you would not deny your faith with Jesus. Then some wars have happened. The church, pretty much, the Christian church, wanted to have love out there. Roman soldiers, there was like war going on about love and stuff like that. A young soldier is better as a soldier by itself without having a wife or a family. They said that was the best way for Roman soldiers to be the best possible guards and soldiers there are. Like, no wives, no children, no families. They just thought that young soldiers around 17 to 19, well, that's just my guess, 17 to 19, they just thought that it was illegal, you could say. It was illegal to have marriage around that time. Then skipping over to that year in the 1300s, in England, it kind of started with giving out flowers and stuff like that. And then later, it would eventually, on the 14th, it was going to be declared that is when this celebration was going to take place. Valentine's would be a holiday around England, as I just said, and eventually the US and then other places. It's pretty interesting, and you guys can read it in the description down below to a website of how Valentine's started. That was just a little like a quarter of what I read and what I got from it, but you guys can read it in the description down below. But the Bible also, yes, the Bible also gives us some words of encouragement and love, doesn't it all? This book right here is a love letter. No matter it's on your phone or the book I have in my hand, it is a love letter from God. Not just rules, but love. Sending his son to die for us is the most important story in this book. And I'm going to share with you guys some Bible verses that you guys can take out there in the real world and give love as God has loved us, to give that love to people, which sometimes can be hard. It's a love that we're never going to understand. It says it in Philippians, that it says that it surpasses all understanding, which means that we're never going to understand everything that God has for us. We're never going to understand the way that God has this set up. We're never going to understand the way how he loves us, why we are here. We're just going to have to wait until heaven, and then our eyes will open up, and that's when we're going to see it. But besides of all that, we're going to get into some Bible verses that it'll be on screen, or all the Bible verses will be in the description down below. By the way, if you want to follow while I'm reading these, then you can pause the video at any time. I'll go pretty slow, but it'd be really cool if you guys could follow with me along as I read through these verses. But if you do not have a Bible, then go down below in the description and just go to the Bible website. It would be awesome if you guys could follow along with me. 1 John 4:7 says, "Beloved, let us love one another, for love is from God, and whoever loves has been born of God and knows God." Basically, what this verse is talking about, we love one another because God is love. We were born with love. When you know love, when you understand love, love is actually from God. Because when he made us, when he formed us, it says it right here that whoever loves has been born of God and knows God. And then up in the verse it says, for love is from God. So if God is love, and he sends it to us. So if we know love, then we know God, because God is love. If God wasn't here, then we wouldn't know love. But that's pretty much what the verse is meaning. Then later in the verse, if you go down a little bit, it's in the same passage, 1 John 4:9. In this, the love of God was made manifest among us, that God sent his only Son into the world so that we might live through him. As you can see, it's right there. It's self-explanatory right there. That in this love God made manifest among us. He sent his Son into the world so that way we might live through him. We already know that God sent his Son. That's the one thing about love. That's the one thing we know about God sending his Son. But have you ever thought about it's love? God didn't want us to be condemned. That's what later in John 3:17, after John 3:16, it says, I did not come to the world to condemn the world, for those that come to me kind of are saved. Something along those lines. All right, so it says it in 1 Corinthians 13:13. So now faith, hope, and love abide in these three, but the greatest of these is love. It's saying all the attributes it just said, faith, hope, and love, are all awesome things, but it's saying the best thing is love. So basically we need to show love because it's the greatest out of faith, hope, and love. It is one out of three. Well, there's more attributes about God and about the gospel. Love is the best thing that's in this, which really tells what is the best thing we should do to people? Love on them. Galatians 5:22 says, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, and faithfulness. Just about the fruit of the Spirit, which the fruit of the Spirit saying that the Spirit is always ripe with these attributes, as a metaphor saying it's always good. It's never going to go away. It's never going to be rotten. So all of these attributes are all part of the Spirit. Matthew 5:43 to 44. I want you guys to apply this to your life. Challenge yourself today by not just this Valentine's is love right here, guys. Listen to me when I read this, okay? So it says it right here. Matthew 5:43 to 44. You shall love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I say to you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. In that verse, in that huge verse, you can read it in, as I said, Matthew 5:43 to 48, if you want to read that little portion of the Bible. It's really self-explanatory. It's just right there. It doesn't really need to be explained. But I would love it for you guys to apply this to your life. Pray for your enemy. Pray for that bully that's at school that keeps picking on you. I know you're like, whoa, hold on a minute. You want me to pray for the person that kept kicking me all that time at school? Yeah, you know why? Because God will take care of them for you. There's something that God can do that you can't do. As soon as someone gets angry at us and starts punching us and starts kicking on us and starts doing things to us that are mean, just love on them. It's hard to do that, I understand. But when you pray to God, help me through this situation, God is going to do something impossible in our eyes, but it's going to be possible in God's eyes. We want to get the justice. We want to be the revenge person that gets the revenge because we feel that. But let God take care of that anger that's inside you. Give it all to Him. And pray for your enemies, whether it's a sibling that is troubling you, whether it's a friend at school, as I said, even it's a bully, whatever you are struggling with, whoever you are struggling with, that I would encourage you to pray for him or her today so that way God can take care of it. Here's also something that you guys want to consider. So in 1 Corinthians 13:4, love is patient and kind. Love does not envy or boast, and it is not arrogant. And then later in the verse it talks about it's not rude. It just keeps on going. Love is more. When you think about love, don't think about love as impatient, unkind. Is not envy, which envy means jealousy. Is patient. So you wait on a person, and that's love. And you're kind to people, which we try to do every single day. I try to do every single day. Sometimes I fail at being kind to people. When you try to be kind, and you don't just do it because you want to do good works, you just want to do it because you have that passion inside your heart to please God with everything you have inside of you. It's not arrogant and doesn't boast. It's not showing us to people that we're better than the other. It doesn't boast. Romans 5:8. But God shows His love for us in that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. While we are still sinners, Christ still died for us. No matter how much you've done in the past, that is not going to separate you any longer, because Christ died for us on the cross. That was a barrier, but now the veil, the wall is torn and broken down, so now we can be in a relationship with God the Father without having to do a sacrifice every single time. John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his one and only son, which it says only son because I'm on the ESV version, but that's how I remembered it in the past, that whoever believes in him should not perish but have eternal life. For God did not send his son into the world to condemn it, but in order that the world might be saved through him. There is more love verses in the Bible, but that is only a quarter, probably even half a quarter of what is in the Bible, because the whole Bible is a love letter. So that's pretty much all we have for today's video, but I really hope you guys have a safe and amazing Valentine's Day. And if you really want to step it up, love the people that are outside on the streets that can't celebrate Valentine's because they don't have enough money. That's right, I'm talking about the homeless people and the people that just can't care for them. That is actually the best love that you can possibly give, because if Jesus showed his love for us on the cross, that's everything, then we can show people that are poor and don't have anything out there. Well, that's sad. My camera died on me. Hope you guys have a safe and fantastic rest of your day, and hope you guys can show love to people that are homeless or people that are just poor and just can't even get one little bit of chocolate or can't even get a gift card from someone. So that is the best love that you possibly can give to someone. My name is Luke from The Gospel House, and I'll see you guys in another video. And God bless. 1 Corinthians 4:18. Oh, that's annoying. I love it. I wrote all of this down, and now I don't even know if it's the right verse. It's just 1 Corinthians, but I was in 1 Corinthians. Don't you love it when you don't pay attention when you make a video? That's me a lot of the time. And if it says in the Bible, it's true, pretty much.